was watching some Smosh Reddit stories today, and what is your guys' opinion on like when your partner is more successful than you? Because that was one of the things, one of the Reddit stories, you know? It was like a woman became an accountant, and she was dating a well, basically like a soldier, was dating a soldier, and there was a 10 years age gap, like she was younger. And she got her dream job, she was making good money, but the partner kept explaining to people that she's a bookkeeper, which of course is a whole different job. And then when he got called out about it, he started saying like, "You're lucky that you have me," and all that stuff. I'm always gonna say this. If my partner gets the dream job, or even not the dream job, but they do better than me financially or work-wise, I will be floored. I'll be like, "Hey, it's awesome. You're doing so well. You're doing so well in life." I don't have an ego where I will be like, "How dare you outshine me?" It's such a weird mental state to have, I feel like. I understand that like you want to be the one providing. I understand that. I understand you want to be the one that like makes the big bucks, and that you want to like provide for your partner. I understand that. But I don't understand when your partner does provide more than you, that suddenly you decide to flip it on them, be like, "How dare you do better than me?" I don't understand that mindset. That's jealousy and insecurity shine through in this case. He's afraid she won't need him anymore. Disgusting. Yeah, like, I fully know where that's coming from. Like, I understand where it's coming from, but I don't condone that behavior, and I just think it's just... I think it's just so dumb. So, like, you have it easy. Your partner's doing well and can provide for both of you. Just treat her with respect and love and care. Just, when she comes home, make dinner. Clean the house. Make sure that she doesn't have to do anything at home, because she's already doing everything else. Like, I don't understand. Schrödinger is the next SCP. Here we go. I always go, "Oh, we have an audio pod." We haven't had an audio pod in so long. Oh, hey, look. The logo became the rainbow this time. Safe. SCP-1813 is kept in a 200,000 liter tank constructed with reinforced glass, located in the biological sector of Site 18. SCP-1813 is to be fed a diet of letters 3 times weekly. Maintenance and security personnel are to be mute or muted prosthetically before performing duties in the area. Any vocalization in the cell is grounds for disciplinary action or termination depending on propagation of the effect. The area is monitored with surveillance cameras at all times. This is definitely an early SCP out. One article, the formatting in the transcript is atrocious. The area is monitored with surveillance cameras at all times. That's with the purpose of churning the water to harmlessly frighten SCP-1813 and cause it to vocalize or installed in the tank, and may only be activated for testing purposes. Oh, Pro-Fros is such a good song. With approval from the site director, SCP-1813 is to be fed double the amount of letters after tests, and is to be supervised for at least 8 hours daily, regardless of testing by a marine biologist equipped with noise-cancelling headgear. Here we go. SCP-1813 is a female manatee, 45 years of age, with a weight of 1,252 kilograms and measuring 4.7 meters long. That's a 1-ton beast. SCP-1813 was recovered from a canal near an electrical facility on the shore of Hillsborough Bay in Apollo Beach, Florida. SCP-1813 is physically and behaviorally normal. Okay, that's already good. It is considered safe, so maybe it's just a cute big manatee. Maybe it's just a cute manatee. SCP-1813 emits vocalization all about 4 to 5 minutes before and after they are actually performed. SCP-1813 is not louder than a mundane manatee, but sound emitted appears to bounce off itself, increasing in volume exponentially before abruptly fading. The sound produces a rippling effect, causing subtle, visible distortions in the surrounding area. While SCP-1813 vocalizes, living subjects within its radius can be observed with 1 to 8 transparent incorporeal duplicates of themselves. The copies move through space as the subject had and will have until finally merging into the original subject's present location with no harmful effect. Extended exposure, however, appears to cause variances in the effects, with copies of the subjects moving in ways that the subject hadn't or would not. That's why Schrödinger, because you don't know if you would have or wouldn't have done that. Further prolonged exposure testing is not recommended, as this tends to cause original subjects to exhibit unpredictable properties requiring original classification. The effect does not present itself when subjects are exposed to recordings of SCP-1813. Visual disturbances are not detrimental to living subjects or inanimate materials. SCP-1813 does not seem to create physical duplicates of itself when it vocalizes. It is not known whether or not the duplicates simply do not exist, or if they overlap SCP-1813 in such a way that they would be invisible. Addendum testing transcript 5. During this test, the subject was asked to vocalize a certain phrase repeatedly while exposed to SCP-1813 to ascertain whether or not an asynchronous vocalization similar to those of SCP-1813 would manifest itself. This subject also were to vocalize within its range of influence. D4293 was provided with earplugs placed on the grating over the tank of SCP-1813 and ordered to play slowly back and forth during the procedure. Another thing I haven't told Nuke yet, the D-Class. The D-Class are a bunch of criminals that were in prison that the Foundation went up to and was like, hey, do you want your sentence shortened? All you gotta do is a couple of experiments with us and then you'll be free. And the D-Class will say yes. Not knowing that the experiments can range from masks that possess you to creatures that eat you, to black holes and all that other stuff. So the D-Class, and also some of the D-Class are horrendous criminals, like the most disgusting human beings you can imagine, and some D-Class are like why am I here? I did some shoplifting and then accidentally killed somebody on doing so. So I got sentenced to prison time. Why am I experimenting with a room full of sand that is sentient sand? Like why are you doing this to me? The following transcript is only a rough approximation. God damn, of the actual audio due to distortion caused by SCP-1813. How lovely, yeah. Because sometimes, like, there was one SCP really early on. It's basically like a staircase SCP, which if you ever watched Markiplier, he played a game like that's basically that. It's based on that game, on that SCP, or I think it's even called that SCP to begin with. And it's really creepy. Guys, I'm sorry. I'll be right back. I'm back. Okay. What was I? Yeah, and there's a moment where the SCP, the D-Class, they're getting creeped out. It is understandably creepy, and they don't want to do it. And the Foundation are really just cruel to them. They're like, "Hey, do it, or else you get terminated." And I mean, they get terminated no matter what happens anyway. Like if they live or survive, once the use is over, they get terminated. But yeah, like for the moment you feel bad for the D class until you remember, like, well, this person might be a rapist, so at the end you shouldn't feel bad. But in the same time, I always say not every D class is like a high criminal. Like some of them could literally just, like, you know what I mean? Like somebody who did arson and somebody who murdered like 50 people are not in the same category for me. You know what I mean? Like it's not in the same range. So some of the D class I will feel bad for because I'm like, you don't deserve this type of treatment. But yeah, let's go on. The following transcript is only a rough approximation of the actual. Yeah, okay, I read this. Say it now? Yes, begin. Jets in SCP-1813's tank begin turning the water, startling SCP-1813 and causing it to emit frightened vocalization, which I'm going to stop the music so we can listen to this vocalization, which we have to actually scroll down. Wait, what? Hello? It just vanished, so let me just aren't actually done anymore since people realized that there are actually not that many death row inmates. Gotcha. Okay, that's the vocalization that gives. Let's go on with the music. In Flanders feels the poppies blow. 4 duplicates of D4293 appear following and leading his path. D3 develops a slightly different facial structure and eye color than the rest towards the end of the test. Flanders feels the poppies blow. Flanders feels the poppies blow. What the hell is that? What the hell is it? I don't know why I had Aaron from Game Grumps' voice in my mind when I read that. The testing subject appears to be startled by the apparitions and attempt to exit the containment area, bang on the door repeatedly. What Flanders hell the puppies that blow? Flanders hell that the puppies did that blow. Enters a fetal position near the cell wall and begins screaming. Alright, I did it. Let me out. Let me the fuck out. Alright, Flanders, blow to hell. I did it to hell. Fuck, I did blow. I did the blow. I did do the cocaine, okay? The copies continue vocalizing, barely visible to the testing subject's lack of movement. Save for weeping, the subject does not make any other vocalization. This goes on for 5 minutes until new results are observed. Alright, what the hell is Flanders? What the hell is that? The hell is this field? Is that it? Trump called us a hellhole. Proud of that. Well, I don't listen. Whatever Trump says is not valid to begin with. The copies appear to be conversing with one another with dialogue previously spoken by D4293. This goes on for 3 minutes. After 4 minutes, the copies appear to move out of sync with D4293, moving over slightly from his position on the ground near the wall of the cell. -124 appear to be in physical pain, with the hands grasping their heads. Unique vocalization from the copies can be heard during this time. My head! Oh my god, the noise! The noise, my head. The vocalization from the copies appear to echo from one another until sound levels in the cell reach a peak of 150 decibels. D4293 shields his ears with the provided earplugs. Jets in SCP-1813's tank powered off. SCP-1813 is now in a calm and silent state. Blood can be seen discharged from the rear canals of the copies before they're falling over and become motionless. It is apparent at this point that the 3 of the copies do not have earplugs. The copies disappear instantaneously. That makes sense because the D-class was the only one with earplugs. The original copy, the original version. D4293 raises and faces the cell door. Sound is produced from D4293's location prior to his vocalization. Speech originating from the testing subject is denoted with a Z. No, let me go. What the hell? Happy birthday, honey. That concludes the testing. Please exit the cell. What do you mean I broke protocol? Wait, what? I'm innocent. I want a robot. Does it mean you're releasing me? D4293 begins vomiting. He is manually removed from the cell. D4293 exhibits this unique auditory effect until before and 5 hours after termination. Researcher notes 5 auditory tests. The SCP-813 effects causes something like a physical echo, although the reasons for this divergent behaviors of the copies is not completely understood. It is also apparent at this point that in addition to copies saying things that they did not yet say, also say things that they would not and will not say. Testing with white rats in the complex maze in SCP-1813's chamber reveal a minimal amount of copies. 1 to 2 paths chosen by the copies in the maze are at most times completely different from the original subject's intended and travel path. Copies also vary in colors, sometimes being black or brown, and in one instance, purple. It's very like, as the title perfectly says, it's Schrödinger, right? It's very much like this could have been a version of you. This could have been you in a different life. That's why like they look different and act different, right? Because like that's how like I would imagine that's how it works, right? Like you. Depending on like how you lived your life, or the whole, or like the DNA that's in you and all that stuff, you will physically and mentally change. So the smallest difference will mean that you as a person will be different as well. So I think that's what it was. Like, it was like different versions of D4293, but those were like all like versions that had lived a different life. And even one of them, as it said, had different eye colors, which means that like that was like a version where like the DNA was at birth was a little bit different already. And even like with that small of a change, who knows how people treated D4293, how he treated others, so on and so forth. Not only that, but I think, because the D-Class seemed to be very confused, I think he's hearing different realities, like the original reality of the copies talk, like the Dr. Sanders, like from different realities talking to him at the same time. That's why he was saying things like, you're going to release me, or like, how did I fail protocol? Because he probably heard from the other Dr. Sanders that they failed, or that one of them said like, you're gonna get released. So that's why he was like very confused, like, oh, what's going on? Why, like, how did I break protocol? Like, are you releasing me? What does this mean? So not only is he witnessing different versions of him, he's also hearing different versions of Dr. Sanders talking to him. It's a mess. It's not a good time. Let me answer my cousin real quick.